Hello, thank you for watching my video. I'm going to talk about some best practices in online education. Um, and the examples I'll use are some Google apps. The apps that I will cover are very simple, small ones. Google Classroom, which will add a free platform for our instruction, regardless if we're doing it full online or hybrid. Twitter, that can be our little social aspects so we can communicate with our students. And also a language conversation app, which the students will be able to practice English if they don't have a partner to do it. I'm going to review for a few terms so we can, throughout this presentation, I might mention these. Mobile assisted language learning. Those are just mobile apps that will assist in the process of learning language. Countries such as China, when a scholar surveyed 103 EFL students, the students found that it was very helpful and made learning easier and added an authentic nature to their education and learning process. Some more terms on blended and flipped learning. Multiple scholars use the word differently. So for the purpose of this presentation, I'm going to call blending learning. It combines technology with traditional classroom. And a flipped classroom is when the student learns from home and applies the knowledge in the classroom. I left out technology in flipped classroom only because I know in the past I had students read a chapter and then we talked about the next day. You can also add the technology part to it, and watch a video or do some Google research. But the big thing is, though, the students are learning the knowledge at home and they're applying it in the classroom at a higher level thinking. So what are students around the world, especially in the eastern part of the world, attitude towards flipped classroom? In a study by Webb and other, 50% had positive attitudes towards it, and then 35% had a neutral aspect of it. So doing a flipped classroom is appealed to our students who are not traditionally used to learning in this way. All right, the first app for best practice I'm going to talk about is Google Classroom. Google Classroom is a free online platform. Let me repeat that. Free, yay! To help create an online classroom. It allows you to make assignments, announcements, store classroom materials, and allows students to interact with each other and also with the teacher. The general layout for Google Classroom, as noted by Brown, it consists of 3 tabs. The About tab, the Students tab, and the Stream tab. And the way these tabs work in the learning process is the About tab is where you can upload materials, the resources for the class. The Students tab is where they can upload assignments, and then we as instructors can provide them with feedback. And the Stream tab is where the interaction occurs in the class. And some limitations towards this app is we're going to have to spend a lot of time getting our students used to using it, so that could take time away from instruction. One thing that concerns me is the lack of discussion boards. Keller did mention an idea that you can use with Excel and spreadsheets. That's going to require a lot of uploading. There's no access to other domains. And finally, a scholar noted from students' comments that the visuals come out very weak. The next app I'll talk about is Twitter. Tweet. Twitter is a social app available for free that will help keep keep people connected. Some common uses are, I'm sure most of us know this, is following people. It can be used as a chat room, and blogging. The way that Tweeter works is you simply download on the mobile device or computer. You can easily create an account. You can set the account for privacy, which I highly recommend. And to do that, we go to settings and click where it says no privacy, tweet privacy, and a little tiny little box there. You check that, and your account is protected and it's private. Once our account is all set up, we simply invite our students. And the learning process with Tweeter is it really depends on the individual teacher. You can use it for multiple purposes. I'm just going to provide you with a few examples. Like, for example, general announcements. Like, for example, I've been sick for a few days, more like 3 days now. So if I'm not feeling good, I can tweet out and say class is canceled for today. Or if I see like an interesting video, say, hey, check this out, a video. So there's a lot of different announcements that we can make. Of course, it's a perfect example of how we can utilize mobile assisted language learning. One of my favorite activities to have students do is a scavenger hunt. They can either take pictures or find photos or videos to help to try to describe a vocabulary word, and using that information to write a sentence of that new word that they are learning. It's a fun activity. I highly recommend everyone give it a try. And of course, it has the discussion element towards our online learning that Google Classroom lacks. We can just ask a question and have the students respond. And one thing I noticed with some scholar research is it can be used as a feedback mechanism for the students. As one scholar who surveyed some Turkish EFL students, the students felt a lot less anxiety, which is important, because when I did research on foreign language anxiety, that can really not only impact their learning, but their outlook on how the class is going. And also the students said in the survey they had some positive feedback for Twitter in the feedback. Sorry. And the limitations, of course, naturally with any kind of mobile device, you're going to have distractions. And something that I did not know, you are only limited to 140 characters, which one can argue would be very difficult for journaling. This is why you set to private, to avoid that spam. And of course, that tweets over time can get varied, which could make it difficult if we have a large class, like we'll see in the Eastern world, and also was tweeted to us months ago. Finally, I'm going to talk about a very fun app that I really enjoy playing with. It's the English conversation app. The app will help our students listen, understand, and practice English. How it works? Well, we simply download it to a mobile device or a computer. No accounts required. Once you launch it, you're going to see this menu. It's going to provide you with a lot of different categories. Like, for example, this one is trips and vacations. And we select one. Our goal here is to help our students learn the social aspect of English. So let's select afternoon picnic. Once we select that, we'll go to this menu. You'll see like a little dialogue right here between, for example, Kathy and Mom. And then you can either listen, and to start playing it, you hit play. Then you can also go take a quiz. You can practice. And finally, you can record. The record is really cool because you can pick between either, for example, Kathy or Mom. Let's say I'm going to pick Kathy. I'm going to pick Mom. The app will read out to you what Kathy's saying. Then it's going to pause for a few seconds and let you set up Mom's saying. So that way you can practice doing dialogue And the students are not just reading about the social aspects on their own, they're actually practicing saying. And of course, the learning process. One of the biggest benefit I see with this app that you can practice talking without another person present. And as scholars noted, and I personally observed this myself, that a lot of students just do not get enough practice with social English because there's no native speakers. And if you don't practice, it's like you're just are not going to remember it, as we know. You can review before class, especially if we're planning activities for role play. You can record and share with peers. And finally, the quizzes. The nice thing about the quizzes is it provides the self-evaluation for the student, which is very important with students, especially in the east side of the world, especially if they're preparing for entrance exams or standardized testing. And us as instructors is very nice because it provides a formative assessment, so we can make adjustments towards our instruction. Sorry about my voice. And the limitations, unfortunately, there is some. It's free, yay! We all like free stuff, but there's always a but though. It is the advertisements. There's a lot of advertisements on the free part of the app, and you must be connected to Wi-Fi to receive this app for free, which could be troublesome with some students in the eastern part of the world. If you want to use it offline, that requires the payment. The record is nice, yay, but it's too some of the ones I looked at are just too fast. They don't give you enough time to process or even respond back. So hopefully, when they update this app, they fix that problem that I found with it. In the quiz, I was kind of shocked when some of the quizzes only had one question, which will make the quiz very, very subjective. So again, we might have to add questions maybe to it, or maybe find another method how we can assess our students. The apps I presented are some. It's really hard to use the word best example because there's so many of them out there. I like apps because, again, I really like the concept of mobile learning. We all have our cell phones. We are on them almost every single day. When I sub it through K through 12, you see a lot of students also using tablets. That's the way the world's turning to. It's more of a digital style. So I think it's really important for us as educators to learn these apps. Some other benefits, like some rural eastern countries who have low budgets, these will help. It'll help students adapt to the technology. As I said, we're moving towards that digital age and continuing, so we really have to help our students to be able to adapt to this. I found that I know it's going to help reduce anxiety and language learning, of course, especially with discussions, like providing feedback. And honestly, I cannot forget this. They are very, very fun. I hope you enjoy my video. Again, sorry about my voice. I've been sick. Here's some few references. Any questions about my reference, I have them saved on Word doc that I can provide for you. And I wish everyone a good evening. And thank you for listening.